Hello students. In the previous lecture of OCM, we have completed the various objectives of business, that is economic and social objectives, right? Now the next topic is the various types of business risk. That what is business risk? See, when a business will be started, like that they will be businessmen, they will be investing capital, but the return they are not fixed. And as well as business, it is what it is that affected by the various factors, like internal factors, that employees they are working, the owners, the investors, right? And external factors like government or a technological change, right? So we are going to see that what are the types of a business risk and what are the causes of a business risk. Okay, starting with the introduction. See, future is uncertain, right? Okay, suppose for an example, okay, I have started a business, but future, that events that are going to occur in the future, it is not fixed. Same way, when a person is starting a business, suppose for an example, a person who has started or invested a business in the month of January in India, right? But from the month of March, that we have what we have that unseen future, that yes, that it was totally locked down in the country. So what is that? That is a one kind of a risk, right? He started the business, but unfortunately, as the spread of the coronavirus, that what is the thing, that is business, all the business activities that has been stopped for at least up to 40 days. So that is what, that is a business risk. And it is the future activity, right? And it is a future event that has been totally uncertain. We don't know what is going to happen in the future. These all things that are what that affect the business. Okay, right? And when you take up a risk, when you know that you are investing the capital in the large size, or that you are investing in the fixed capital, that, and whatever the return that you are going to get, that is a what, that is a profit, and it is a reward for what, reward for your risk that you guys are taking. Okay, right? See, ultimately we have seen in the characteristics also that it is a what, profit is the called as the barometer of the business. So when you are going to what, when you are going to start a business, the first thing that come into mind, that you need to what, you need to earn the profit. But it is not same every time, the return is not fixed, right? Sometimes loss will also be there. So when loss will be there, that is your risk, that you are generating the profit on the risk of what, on the risk of getting the loss. Whatever the investment that you are doing, suppose for an example, I have invested 5 lakh rupees and in return I am getting 6 lakhs. So what is my profit? My profit is 1 lakh. But if I am generating less amount, less revenue, like 4 lakh or 3 lakh, so that is my risk, right? So profit is always generated on the basis of risk that a person is taking. Okay, right? And mainly there are two types of risk in a business, right? That is all the risk that has been covered into the two heads, that is natural risk and man-made risk. Okay, starting with the natural risk. What are the natural risks? Natural risks are those which is considered as earthquake, flood, right? That is the natural calamities, right? You don't have control over any, and that is going to what, that is going to damage the business, that assets of the business. Okay, that earthquake or a flood, right? They are going to what, they are going to hinder the growth of the business. That means they are going to stop the growth of the business, as well as they are going to destroy or damage the assets of a business. If earthquake occurs, obviously there will be what, there will be that buildings, they will be devastated, right? That is going to what, that is going to that a building is also one kind of assets for the business, right? Because there, suppose for an example, a manufacturing unit is there, the building will be constructed on the cost of that around, say, like for 1 crore or 2 crore, that infrastructure that has been developed, but due to earthquake it is completely devastated. So that is what, that is a natural risk, right? Flood, it is going to damage the assets, the furniture of the business, right? So it is what, ultimately this type of risk, they are what, they are not in the control of the hands of the human. They are natural risk, they are natural risk, right? And another is man-made risk. Now what are man-made risk? Like strike of employees, right? Suppose for an example, the person, the employees, that workers, whatever the amount of the salary that they are getting, they are not satisfied with it. So what they are going to do, they are going to go on a strike, right? And because of this, that is strike, what is going to happen? Obviously production is going to stop, the production process is going to stop, right? And when the production process is stopped, obviously no production will be there. No production, that means no supply in the market. They are not able to send the units for for the purpose of a sale in the market. Okay, so what is going to happen? Obviously that is going to what? That is going to generate loss to the business unit. Then changing the technology, right? That people they are using, that in the 80s, we can 80s or 90s, that radio was more popular than the television. But after the introduction of television, the demand of a radio that has been declined. Nobody is that interested in that listening to radio. Why? Because they can see actually what is happening on the television, right? With that particular speech, with that audio, right? Same way, you take an example, right? That most of the desktop computers, they are being replaced by the laptops. Laptops are replaced by that tab that you guys are using, right? So what is that? That is a change in the technology. That is the man-made risk, right? Okay, by yes, who is inventing? Yeah, who is inventing the technology? Obviously the man, right? By doing a constant research, right? That the phone that you are using before 2 years, right now, you have purchased before 2 years or 3 years, right now it is old, outdated. Why? Because the new technology that has been there, new technology that has been entered into the market. Getting my point, right? Then change the taste and the demand of the customers. See, when the taste and the preferences of the consumers change, obviously that is going to what? That is going to impact the business unit, right? Okay, suppose for an example, okay, right now my income is limited. I'm using that particular a simple phone, but then suddenly my income that has been raised. I'm changing my preference to the smartphones, to the Android phones, or to the iPhone. What is that? That is the change in the preference of the consumers. Right? See, consumers, they always need what? They always need the new one, the new technology that has been entering in the market. Okay, getting my point. So what will be that? That is when the customers, they're changing their preference. Obviously, what is going to happen? That change, that technology, that will be what? That will be changed. Due to change in the technology, the preference of the consumer, taste and the demand of the consumer, that is also going to what? That is also going to change. And due to that, the business is going to suffer what? The business is going to suffer loss. Let me give you an example. During the 2008 and 9, the people, they were demanding more of a Nokia phones, right? They're a simple phone, but then there was a change in the technology, the Android phone that has been entered into the market. So there was a change in the taste and the preference of the consumer, right? They were what? They have started demanding the Android phone, the smartphones. So the Nokia company, in the next 2 years, that is when the 2010 and 11 arrives, the company that has been shut down, the company that has been closed. So what is that? That was a risk. Okay, getting my point. Then political instability. See, every 5 year we are facing a general election, right? If a government changes frequently, obviously the ideas, the laws, the rules, they are also going to change with the government. So when there will be a political instability in the country, that is also going to what? That is also going to affect the business unit, and that is also one kind of risk. And risk of competition in the market. See, what is competition? That is when you have more than one seller in the market selling the same product or the genuine product. That is what? That is a risk in the competition, as a competition, right? That mobile phones, take an example like Vivo, Oppo, Samsung, that iPhone, Apple, that they are producing iPhone, right? So what is that? That is they are the competitors, right? That when the competition is going to increase, obviously there is a one producer, they are going to generate gain, they are going to generate profit, and the other one, they are going to generate loss. Getting my point, right? So what is that? That is a risk in the competition of market. These all are man-made risk, right? We can cope up with this man-made risk, right? Yeah, we can plan something about it, but we cannot control over natural risk. We cannot have any kind of control over natural risk. Okay, is it clear? Right now, going ahead, what are the causes of business risk? That is, first, change in the technology, right? See, every 3 months or 6 months, right, that a new technology that are entering into the market. Okay, right? So obviously that new invention that will be introduced into the production process, into the production, that by doing a production research, right? Okay, the old machine, they were producing 100 unit per hour, but now when the new technique that has been arrived, new machinery that has been entered in the market, obviously what is going to happen? That more number of units within the same time. So obviously that new technology, that products are produced, they are going to produce high quality. So old machinery, they will be what? They will be replaced by the new one. Okay, suppose for an example, two competitors are there. I am one who is using a old machinery, right? And when the new company enters, they are started using new technology. So obviously that quality will be good than my products. Okay, right? They will be what? They will be producing more number of units than me. So obviously what I will be facing, what I will be facing a loss. I'm not able to cope up with the new technology. I need to introduce a new technology. That is what? That is also one kind of a risk, right? Threat of a substitute product. Now understand what is substitute product. That suppose for an example, okay, radio, it was replaced by television. That old phones, like simple phones, they were what? They were replaced by what? They were replaced by the smartphones. The telephones, the landline phones, they were replaced by what? They were replaced by the mobile phones. Getting my point? So these are what? These are the substitute one, right? That when the television was introduced, right, it was like a huge television, like, you know, it's like a box TV, right? Then it has become slim, the smart TV, right? LED, LCD, that has been introduced. So what is that? That is a substitute, right? And obviously when new product that will be entered into the market with the technology upgraded, obviously what is going to happen? There will be change. And this is what? This is called as a threat of a substitute product. Okay, right? Example that I have given, that radio, that was replaced by what? That was replaced by the television, right? And consumer, they what? They are always tend to change their demand. They always tend to, right? If they are getting the new one, that they are getting the television instead of radio, obviously they go for television, right? They are using a smart Android phone, obviously they are going to stop using that simple phone. They have started using mobile phones instead of a landline. What is that? That is what? That is a threat of a substitute products. Okay, then next is competition. See, competition is going to play a very important role. Why it is going to play important role? Because when you have that competition in the market, you always need to constant think about how to increase the sale of the product. See, we all are watching television, right? That different that producers, or suppose for an example, take an example of the mobile phones, right? Like Oppo, Vivo, Samsung, right? What they are doing? They are aggressively advertising their product. They are proving their product is much more of a better quality than their competitor. Okay, see that Samsung and iPhone, they both are what? They both are the competitor of each other, right? That Samsung, they are introducing the new one. Apple, they are also going to introduce the new product, right? It is mostly common seen in the Vivo and Oppo, right? That pop-up camera that has been introduced by Vivo, and the very next that within a 15 days or a month, Oppo, they have also what? They have also started that doing a research, and they have also introduced that particular pop-up camera phone, that selfie phone, right? Now what is the reason behind that? What is the reason? That they need to what? They need to stay in the competition. They need to focus on increasing the sale, right? If they do not match with the competition, if they do not match with the competitor's product, obviously what is going to happen? The business is going to suffer what? The business is going to suffer a loss, right? Now they will be in a fix. They need to what? They need to think, okay, yes, the sale price of the product, that must not increase. And at the same time, they need to increase the cost of advertisement. Okay, customer, they need to what? They need to be aware, okay, yes, we have launched this product. This product is what? This product is of a new, that invention. It has this much of a feature. Okay, see, bike, they are being launched, cars, they are being launched. So firstly, they are what? They come on the television as advertisement. They need to what? They need to give that idea to the customers, right? Okay, how I will be aware, okay, yes, the new product they are entering in the market, that which brand of it, obviously with the help of advertisement, right? So each and every producer, each and every manufacturer, they will be focusing on what? They will be focusing on this thing, right? They will be what? They will be introducing what? They will be introducing a new technology, the new invention. And when the new invention will be there, obviously what is going to be there? Advertisement expense will be more. But at the same time, they need to think, they need to take into that particular consideration that price does not increase than the competitor, right? That if two-person, that Vivo and Oppo, they are selling the same feature phone with the same price, then and then only the competition will be there. But if there is a variation in the price, okay, suppose for an example, Vivo is keeping the price very low than the Oppo, so obviously customer, what they are going to do? They are going to start demanding more of a Vivo. Reason is simple, okay, they are getting what? They are getting the same quality product with the least price, that is lower price than the other one, that is the Oppo. So obviously what is going to be that competition is going to, what competition is going to play a very important role in the market, right? It is going to decide whether which company is going to stay for a longer period of time in the market. Getting my point, right? So competition, that is also what, that is also one type of business risk. If I suppose for an example, Vivo, that sale of Vivo that has been increased, so it is a risk for whom? It is a risk for the Oppo. Their products, they are not being sold in the market. Okay, got my point. Then next is legislation. Legislation, that means what? Okay, some rules and regulations that will be what, that will be fixed by the government, that will be what, that will be the particular written form. Okay, yes, business units, they need to follow some rules and regulations. Okay, they will not be, they are bound to not to pollute the air, they are not bound to that pollute the particular water, right? That they will be what, they will be not degrading the value or the particular atmosphere right around their business unit. Okay, right? So there will be, they will be having that, pollution act, they will be having that customers protection act, consumer protection act. The workers, they will be getting that minimum wage. Industry, that by the factory act, they are going to what, they are going to rule that particular thing. Okay, yeah, there will be at least 200, there will be at least what, there will be at least of 200 of when the customers, when the particular 200 of workers are there, there will be facility of a canteen, and that canteen and particular like canteen facility will be available. Then the first aid kit, that will be available to them, right? So what is that? That is called as what? That is called as the particular, the industry, they are going to what, they are going to introduce such things. So they need to what, that business unit, they need to what, they need to bound to follow the rules and a regulation that they are going to do. Okay, got my point. Then next is uncertainty of a demand. Now who is going to do the demand? That is the customers. Then when customers, they are going to have, they are going to change the demand due to the increase in the price of the product, due to the change for taste and preferences of the consumer. So what is going to happen? Obviously that will what, that will increase the risk for the business. Okay, got my point. So what will be the main thing? That yes, customers need to be maintained, right? Like, that when the customer's income, that is going to change. Suppose for an example, my income was 10,000, but then it is increased to 15,000, that it is increased by 5,000 more. So what is going to be there? That obviously I am going to demand more of a 5,000. I am not going to use the same product that I was using when I have income of 10,000. I will be demanding more of a superior quality product. I will be started using what, I will be started using the product which will what, which will give me more satisfaction. Okay, right? The taste, that has been changed. But yes, I'm having that particular thing, I'm consuming tea from the last few years, but now I'm started using what, I'm now started using coffee, so my preference, that is going to change, right? The product price, that has been increasing or that has been decreasing, right? Inflation is there in the market. That is what is inflation. Inflation means there is a what, there is an unnecessary price rise in the what, unnecessary price rise in the economy, in the market. Getting my point? So what will be the main thing? The main thing will be that the customers, they are going to change their demand, right? The customer who is earning more, so obviously they will be what, they will be started using the superior quality product, right? And last, that is physical risk. What is physical risk? See, the goods, they need to be what, they need to be transferred from the manufacturing place to the selling place, right? Suppose I'm a manufacturer, I am manufacturing the product, by my market, that is what, that is a very vast, that is expand, right? And I need to what, I need to reach out to the customers through what, through that particular thing, right? So I need to what, I need to send those goods through transportation, like railways, by roadways or whatever. So physical risk will be there. What happens if accident will be there, right? That what if that machinery, they have stopped functioning, they are not functioning properly, production is going to reduce. And when production is going to reduce, obviously what will be the outcome? The production will be low. And when the production will be low, obviously there will be what, there will be loss to whom? There will be loss to the businessman. This is the business risk, right? Damage that can be happen during the transit of a goods, that when one product, there will be transferred from one place to another place, so obviously that is going to be what, that is going to happen, right? That accident that can happen, so obviously that is what, that is a loss of a goods. And when the loss of a goods will be there, obviously there will be what, there will be a risk. Okay, right? So this is it for today. We have completed the causes of a business risk and the types of a business risk, right? In the next lecture we will see the further, like the profession and the employment, characteristics of employment, characteristics of a profession, etc. Right? If you have any doubt, please let me know. And you need to what? You need to copy this thing in your notebook. Okay? Thank you.